Ladies and gentlemen, today we have something very interesting and very exciting to discuss, a point that I actually brought up several months ago that really didn't have that much weight when we discussed it, but today in present Brawl Stars, it might actually mean quite a lot. It may be further fueling the flames of speculation surrounding this next season of the Brawl Pass or upcoming updates related to Starr Park being a water park update, and basically just give us a little bit more perspective as to why some developments with Starr Park has been on pause for quite some time. And that is of course the trigram symbols found in the jungle theme here in Brawl Stars. Hope you guys are pumped up. Let's get straight away into it. Here we go! So everyone, of course, we got to get our YouTuber things out of the way before we get into anything in today's video. If you guys enjoy what you see here with the theory crafting, the WKBRL stuff, or the Starr Park related information, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I got a feeling we're right on the edge of some really interesting developments here, whether it's in the next update or with the WKBRL live stream. So make sure to subscribe. Okay, everyone, so I don't want to waste any more time in today's video. Before we get straight away into the trigrams, I want to give you guys a brief update on the WKBRL live stream. If you guys didn't see the video that I made on the two newest sounds or developments that happened over there around its anniversary date, make sure to check that out. But since those two events happened, nothing else has occurred on the live stream. And really the only other thing that I want to bring up about the WKBRL live stream that I did not mention in our last episode is that these two events aren't repeating. A reoccurring theme with the WKBRL, especially during its prime, was you would hear the same collect like 15 sounds being replayed over and over, almost like on a loop. So you would hear the static, then a sound, static, then a sound. It would go through all the different sounds and then start off with the very first one it began with. So back in the day, if you heard a certain sound on the live stream, you could wait long enough and then hear it again because it would replay itself. But this time around, with the two newest events, they did not loop whatsoever. The sirens that popped up a day before its birthday, as well as Jessie trying to get into the room of the WKBRL on its birthday, only happened one time. After that, it's been repeating the same exact thing over and over once again. I think it really confirms that something disastrous happened to Starr Park, kind of halting all developments with it since it started repeating the same thing over. I already told you this is normal. So you guys, with the WKBRL update out of the way, it's time to get straight away into trigrams and why it relates to possibly confirming a water park update around the corner or something related to water. And you may be asking, Ray, why are you showing me a screenshot of Brawl Stars while it was still in portrait mode? Yes, believe it or not, this was Brawl Stars back in the day. Well, it's going to transition us nicely as to where these trigrams were first discovered, and that is one of the very first themes to ever be inside of Brawl Stars, the bounty theme there at the very bottom, the jungle theme. Now, as you all know, seasonal updates as well as just regular updates typically bring with it a different theme in the game, thus making some of the long-standing maps that we have in Brawl Stars change its theme. We have a ton of different playable themes here in the game, but one that is now not in the game and we can't get into is that jungle theme. So in order to investigate these trigrams, we have to rely on screenshots. The screenshot from the first video that I made about these trigrams. So in the jungle theme, at the very top of the enemy spawn, you could see this staircase, and the pillars on the staircase have different symbols. On the left, you have a long rectangle, two smaller rectangles, and then another long rectangle. And then on the far right, you have two rectangles, one long rectangle, and then another two. Now, as to when these symbols were first implemented into the game, we don't quite know yet. It could have been exactly when the jungle theme first came to Brawl Stars. If so, this makes this even more exciting, but at least we know when people first started to pick up on the actual meaning of these trigrams, and that was around the month of October in 2020, just before Amber's release. Now, I gotta give a huge shout out to Didi Pardal over on the Starr Park Discord server. He is a very predominant figure into trying to keep these theories running and trying to prove them, because he was the very first person to figure out that these were trigrams themselves, pointing out this chart here. So as you can see, the trigram on the far far left means flame, and the trigram on the far right means water. Now, knowing what we now know with the past events here in Brawl Stars, it makes it even more interesting. Flame pertaining to Amber, as well as potentially the disaster that happened to Starr Park, setting things ablaze. I'm sure you guys remember all of the crazy different examples that we've had of fire-related things here in the Brawl Stars community, either on the Starr Park website or even in the Invest in Your Future video. We have so many different examples of fire marks, as well as even on the map of Starr Park when the Invest in Your Future video is ending, we have a big fire happening there in the background. But next, it's time to get into the other trigram that we really don't have a lot of perspective on in past events, but maybe in future events based on really good theories going on right now. So 2 rectangles, 1 big rectangle, 2 rectangles means water, which is the exact same trigram as found in the jungle theme here on the far right. In my opinion, the fire trigram has already kind of done its purpose. It's already kind of come and gone with the release of Amber and the destruction that happened to Starr Park, but the only thing left that has questions to be answered is the water trigram. I think personally this is another really interesting bit of evidence supporting the claims for the theory that a water park update is coming around the corner, either in Season 7 of the Brawl Pass or maybe just a future update pertaining to Starr Park. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about with this water park theory, TLDR, there was a Morse code found in the Tars Bazaar upon the release of this Season 6 Brawl Pass update, which ended up meaning H2O, along with several other examples of water park related things, such as that water monster that keeps popping up back into discussion whenever we're talking about Brawl theories, as well as connections that people made about this rocket with a water park slide going around it, and several other things. And I think this is just adding a bit more evidence on top of that. But the interesting stuff does not stop there. When you take trigrams and add them together, so putting them in a sentence of sorts, they mean totally different things. As you can see from this chart, when you have flame on the left and then fire on the right, reading it from left to right, it translates to before completion. Now, if you ask me, this fits in exactly what is happening right now with Starr Park. There seemed to be a disaster around the time that Amber was released, a fire brawler. There was flames over on the WKBRL livestream, which we can hear now to this day, along with the "we already told you this is normal." Basically saying this disaster that happened to Starr Park involving fire happened before Starr Park's completion. Now, whether that's the completion of the park itself or the completion of their plans and their overall objective with the mind controlling stuff and things along those lines, we don't quite know yet. I think it fits in the same ballpark. So the way I see these trigrams is they very well could be a predictor for these Starr Park developments before any of us really knew what was going on. And what makes it even more interesting is we don't know when these trigrams were implemented into the jungle environment. If they were, for example, implemented while Brawl Stars was still in beta and in portrait, that makes this whole entire lore even more insane. That would suggest that they had this Starr Park craziness planned out all the way once Brawl Stars was beta, which is nuts. But getting back to the more important point, when it comes to these trigrams, the flame one, the very first one, kind of has already come and gone, right? We got the Amber update, we had this crazy disaster happen to the WKBRL livestream. The only thing that is left is the water trigram, thus suggesting that we might be getting some sort of water related update, maybe on the same scale as the Amber update, maybe a water brawler and then a lore development with the Starr Park craziness. Maybe something cool will happen, like this water update will come in, dousing the flames that are currently still going on in Starr Park, seen from the WKBRL live stream, still hearing those fiery sparks happening in the background, and thus rejuvenating Starr Park in the lore developments, or something else. We really don't know quite yet, but that makes all of this even more exciting in my opinion. But yeah, everyone, that's really all there is to talk about in today's video about these trigrams. Definitely very interesting to say the least, and it's also incredibly interesting now that I'm thinking about it, that the jungle theme is no longer in the game, almost like they don't want us to go back and look at that or remind us of those trigrams. But hey, again, this is just a theory. We could be completely wrong with all of this, but it is really cool that it connects and fits in with the current theories that we have with developments, with future updates down the line. So that's really all you can ask for when looking into theories here with all of this crazy stuff. But yeah, everyone, hopefully you all enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to slap a like on it. I'd really appreciate that. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Keep having fun in Brawl Stars, and we'll see you in the next video. Adios, you guys.